Scottie, DJT, I got to say, this is so cool to be able to talk to you guys because, let's face it, the Funky Bunch, when you think about the era and the times and what you guys did, I mean, you guys set a dance generation and having a great time. And you think about now and today, people are wanting that good vibration feel, and you guys are bringing it all back. How does it feel knowing what you did back then is even transcending to what's going on today?
We're just making good music, you know. We're just making good music, and you know, we're bringing the performance back to the stage, you know, an actual show. And, you know.
Yeah, it feels good. It feels good to do the good vibrations now that back then it's a transition between being the background and actually being the front man at this point. So the transition is welcome, but it's also a little bit different for us, you know what I mean? But I mean, they still love the record, Rudy. I mean, they love the record. We love the record. It made us what we are today. And we keep trying to send that positive message about having a good time, any place, anytime. We had fans come up to us saying that song was actually their walkthrough song when they got married. And it's kind of like, wow, really? And that's a blessing for us, too, you know. So we make good music, like Terry said.
I love it, man. T, let me ask you this. How did you guys all get together? How did this all work out?
You talking about now or in the past?
In the past.
In the beginning.
No, in the past, when it all first happened.
Yeah, when it all first happened. Oh, in the past. All right. So I was discovered by Mary Alfred. I was discovered by Mary Alfred, who then, you know, who had put the New Kids on the Block together. So once the New Kids on the Block were at their height, then Donnie decided he wanted to get into production, get into more of the business aspect of things. So what better person to do it with, sort of experiment with, was with his brother, because, you know, as you know, his brother was like a part of the New Kids on the Block, but then decided to go in a different direction, which was rap. So then they brought Scott along, and then Scott brought Andy and Heckney along as the Funky Bunch, and we've been close ever since.
Scottie, did you realize when this was all coming together that you guys were bringing together rap, hip-hop, pop, R&B, so many different genres into one group? And that's pretty iconic to be able to do that, especially back then when not a lot of people were doing that kind of combination.
Yeah, well, you know, like Terry said, it was like experimental. You know what I mean? We didn't really know what genre we're going to be accustomed to being in, so we had to do different tastes of music. You know what I mean? Plus, our audience was expanded from black to white to Hispanic to whatever. It was like a lot of people gravitated towards good vibrations. And then, I mean, even in our group, we're culturally different too. You know what I'm saying? So that's what also brought attention to it as well. But I mean, we welcomed every type of listener all the time. You know what I mean? So we had to stay different. We had to stay a mix. You know what I mean? We couldn't just stay in one genre. We wanted to spread the love, I would say.
T, what was it like working with Mark? Because that was a young Mark. It was a different type of Mark, too. Even though he was getting into the music business, I mean, you know, he still had to get from the shadow of his famous brothers.
I'll get that one for T. Mark coming out of the shadow of Donnie, it was more like Mark had his own identity anyway. You know what I mean? He couldn't fit in with the new kids. He just couldn't fit. That wasn't what he wanted to do. You know what I mean? He was more of a street kid. You know, sometimes he'd get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So Mark loved to listen to rap a lot. So he gravitated towards that. And Donnie also liked rap. So Donnie just wanted to do something different than outside of the New Kids on the Block. So he decided to do it with Mark. And Mark didn't have a tough time fitting to that mold, man, because he was already prepared for that. You know, he's a very, very intelligent kid, man. He knows. I mean, now he's a very established actor, so you can tell he transitions very well to adapt to whatever environment he's in. So Mark is very, very highly intelligent.
This question goes to either one of you once the song came out and the video, because the video, again, made a huge impact, too. What was it like all this coming out, and now you guys are traveling the world. You're in Europe, you're in Japan. What was that like?
Well, traveling the world, we were, 17 years old when we did that. It was very, I would just say, like a dream that just happened overnight, too, because I remember we weren't even contracted yet, and we signed agreements and jumped on the airplane, and before you know it, we were opening up for new kids in, like, Norway and then Sweden and Germany. So we were blown away ourselves. So it was like a big, giant roller coaster ride that we didn't want to get off. We didn't want to get off it. It was awesome, man. I would say it was awesome. The experience was great. We met a lot of people. We actually had Thanksgiving and Christmas in Europe, and then we never done that before.
Here's something else that I don't think a lot of people realize or even remember, too. You guys were nominated for a Grammy Award. That is serious business.
Yes. And we still pinch ourselves. I mean, I recently discovered that we were. I forgot about that. I forgot that we were. Like I said, for 4.5 years of just on airplanes, off airplanes, two planes at one day. We did 2 shows in one day. It was just boom, 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 constantly moving. So, man, it like I said, we were blessed to have a Grammy nominated, Video Music Award nominated, to win the hit. I think it's called Smash Hits overseas. It's kind of like their Grammys over there.
And don't forget about the American Music Awards.
That's right.
American, man. Yeah.
T, I'm going to throw this over to you because I asked you earlier how everything began in the beginning. What brought you guys back together now?
Opportunity. Plain and simple opportunity. You know, the opportunity to do it again, to be able to perform as the Funky Bunch. So that's what brought us back together. And then I would say Scott Ross, a.k.a. Scottie G, had a lot to do with it, you know.
Yeah, man, I was just feeling it. I was feeling the energy from.
Yes. Yeah.
I was feeling the energy from the guys. We had to meet when we got a call from Jeff Epstein to do the Hammer tour. I reached out to them, and then their energy was matching with mine. It was just perfect. It just felt perfect and right.
But was there any thought, because this is now the Funky Bunch, this is Marky Mark, were you at any point worried that fans would be like, well, we still want the Marky Mark part of that?
To be quite honest, we welcomed it. Like, you know what I mean? We wanted the fans to kind of reminisce on some of the stuff we were doing. You know, if Mark ever wanted to jump on there, we would just warm it up, basically. And we do get some fans saying, you know, where's Mark? It's not the same without Mark. And then some fans say, you don't even need him. You know what I mean? You guys are a complete show yourself, and da-da-da-da. So we kind of let the fans and friends, family determine that for ourselves. We just want to do good music and do good work, and it will let it speak for itself. But I know Terry wants to speak on that, so go ahead, T.
No, yeah, well, you know, a lot of people in the beginning, like, and I say this, a lot of family members are like, wow, you know, how are you guys going to do it without Mom? How are you guys going to do the lyrics? You know, who's going to do the rapping? I was like, are you kidding me? We did this. We rapped along with the show, and I was Mark's hype man. You know, I went from DJ T to DJ hype man, you know what I mean? So I knew all the lyrics. When Mark would lose his breath, I would pick it up. And you know, a lot of people don't realize, like, choreography, you know, they know the whole song. They, you know, choreographers and dancers, they know the lyrics to all the songs. And, you know, us as the Funky Bunch, we had our own record. We had our own record within the album, you know. Ain't No Stopping the Funky Bunch, which it was just us as the Funky Bunch performing on the record. And and the House Tip, you know. So
we were a group too, you know what I mean? So yeah. we were a group too inside the group with Mark. So it was like almost the Pips with Gladys Knight, you know what I mean? We were definitely our own entity, which made the show have energy. You know what I mean? So if you came to any of the Marky Mark shows, you'll see that when Mark would leave the stage, we would have our own sets to do, and then Mark would come back on and we finish out the night. You know what I mean? So we basically were getting groomed at the same time to be in a separate entity.
The music flow hasn't stopped. You guys have worked with Sisqo. You guys have a new single out now.
Yeah, man, that was a blessing too, because a short story to that is that Sisqo's government name is Mark Andrews, and his mom calls him Marky. So we were like, what? How could God line this up that good? You know what I mean? Because we get the call from Jeff Epstein from Universal Attractions to jump on the Hammer tour. And then we decided to go do a record with a collaboration with Sisqo. And he's also on the Hammer tour doing spot dates. And his name is Mark. And he said, hey, my mom calls me Marky. We're like, what? So this was meant to be, you know what I mean? And for you, Rudy, to give us this opportunity to be on your station, and we are blessed once again. And we really appreciate it, my man.
No, I feel blessed because, again, you know what? When I had the bad times, I listened to you guys' music, and the good times came back. And you guys are still part of that good time because, as we said, as you mentioned, you're on the Hammer tour. How's the tour been?
Yeah, it's been great. You know, everyone on the tour has been real supportive. It's been a lot of fun, you know. It's actually been a lot of fun.
Yeah, so we're in the works now, working on a fall tour with some of the people from the Hammer tour and then some new ones. So we're going to try to get we're not going to try, we're going to run it from United States to Canada back down to the United States. So that's what we've been working on as we traveled up to Canada and back. So we're working on a few things.
Two very quick questions. Number one, any chance that there's going to be a documentary out on you guys? Because I think that's something that's needed right now. I think fans really know what you guys went through, what it was like, and, you know, bringing it back today. Is there a chance that could be happening on film?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. You know, we're trying to put it together. You know, we've been filming a lot of behind-the-scenes footage from us having the initial meeting about going on tour, from the rehearsal, from us being on tour, backstage, on stage. So, you know, we're just collecting all the different footage, and then we'll narrate the story, you know, the Funky Bunch.
Cannot wait.
Yeah. And for us, it's not really a comeback. It's just more like we never left. You know what I mean? And we're just trying to say, hey, this is what we've been doing. You know what I mean? We've been doing this in individuals in our lives, and then we got together to have another run at it, and it's just all good vibes doing it. You know, to be honest, we meet fans that we haven't seen in a long, long time, and then we meet their kids. Just like, what? And that's awesome, because I remember holding something up, because we were 18, right? So some of them young girls are cute, right? Oh, you know, what the hell? But now their kids are in their 20s and maybe early 30s, maybe mid 20s, and they listen to our music and they know who we are, and they were like maybe 2. You know what I mean? So we're like, we transcend time, dude. You know what I mean? That's a feat. You know what I mean? And I think that happens to a lot of groups that are out there that touch lives, and we're a part of that group.
Last question. Longevity, what's the secret to it, and what advice can you give those artists who are out there now? Because you guys went through so many different transitions in the way the music business has changed. You're still here. What's longevity? What's the secret?
Well, it's really no secret, you know, is Mark just keeping it relevant. You know, Mark doing, you know, successful movie after successful movie in all his endeavors, you know. But it all started with Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. You know, someone sent me a video. They were at an amusement park, and at the amusement park was blasting Good Vibrations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, and it was a great song. It was a great song. You know, and the song Good Vibrations just withstood the time. You know, and then, you know, so that's about it. I mean, as far as, you know, as what I see.
Yeah, I agree.
Gentlemen, I got to say thank you so much for this interview. Thank you for the good times, the good vibrations, and more importantly, thank you for staying and keeping that music groove going. Looking forward to seeing you guys in concert, record releases, whatever is going on, and looking forward to that documentary when it gets released.
Okay, Rudy, we got a book that we're just finalizing with some different pictures and looks. So the book is also being depth on what has happened to us in between, and it's called Behind the Star. Basically, then a big time star like Mark or Chris Brown or Usher, how does the dancers, what they go through to make sure that star looks the way he looks and the energy's on that stage.
It's amazing. I got to pick that up. I'm looking forward to it. Gentlemen, again, thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you. All right, Rudy.